Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to beautiful Derryfield Park. This is where the Trinity Pioneers do their work, and here they're hosting the Trinity, girls varsity lacrosse team is hosting the Concord Christian Academy Kingsmen today, and they are up to, it's 2-2. Sorry for the late start, everybody. 9:20. I got a dirty trick via Google Maps. Ended up on the wrong side of the stadium, Kyle.
Well, it's a 3-2 game now, Rich. You
I just
missed
saw
two
that
goals
goal
by Addie, who got the goal 12 seconds into the game to put the Pioneers ahead. Concord Christian was able to come back and take a 2-1 lead, but now the Pioneers back with 2 goals themselves with that 3-2 lead. And we're glad to be here for our first commentating of lacrosse here at Trinity. As these girls have had a tough week here, playing a lot of games. They even played on Saturday in the rain out in John Stark. And now to have 80-degree warm weather, a little bit breezy here, but overall, Rich, we're glad to be here with the Manchester Public Television to cover this.
And I'm sweating because I ran across the parking lot. But this is our first lacrosse game ever, Kyle, together, I believe.
That is correct.
We've done a little bit of highlight and this and that, but nothing full. So, and I guess we didn't get a full one in today, but we will on game 2.
Yeah, doubleheader today here on Manchester Public Television. Good to see the Manchester boys versus Londonderry later on, but either way, look, excited to see what the Pioneers and Concord Christian can bring here, the Kingsmen.
Well, this is an important game for Trinity. I mean, they're 3-6, they're tied for 15th, but they've got a reasonably workable schedule in front of them, and you want to just get your way into the 11-team tourney. They did last year. They were the 10th seed. They lost 11 in the first round, but when you're building this program, that's what you got to do.
Well, Addie is having a good day so far, has already gotten on the board a number of times, and see if she can get another one. And she does. Look at that. Tough angle, and is able to put it in, Rich.
Well, I was reading about number 24, and I know she gets a job done. You know, yeah, sure, we're in one division. I've been covering a lot of Girton girls lacrosse, Sauhegan, and twice I called Portsmouth and won Pinkerton. But you see a good athlete like that fits in at every level, and there's why she's, what, the Addy with the Hattie already?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, she's already killing it here, and now still a long ways to go. You know, I predicted that this would be a high-scoring matinee matchup here, and so far, 6 goals in a matter of 2 minutes and 52 seconds, Rich.
There we go.
Is sure a sign that this is going to be a good one. We started a few minutes early, too, exactly. 3:55 we started the game.
Yeah, I was cursing that when I saw that on the scoreboard as I was getting my jog in for the day, Kyle.
Well, we still have another jog later on across the city after this, but for now.
I was already there once.
Well, Concord Christian now with the ball and trying to set something up.
Well, and there's who they got to get going. Number 17 in blue is Lily Carlisle, coach's daughter. Yeah, and her I believe her mom's also is the coach here, and also the basketball coach, and obviously they've had a really good run together.
Yeah, unfortunately they did not get the D1 championship, but every year, the past 3 years before, they were able to get each division. So we'll see where they stay with Division 1 or if they drop down at all after this.
Oh, she goes for the backhand as she crosses the top side of the crease. Good outlet pass right there.
Sun makes it hard for me to find the ball here behind the camera, so we're
it's there,
doing
folks.
Our best.
All right, that's a good diagonal pass going to the top side of the island. A lefty goes opposite corner. Nice drive, 8:15. Wow, that was a great catch and a nice 180. Wheel around with in your left hand and then fire it opposite post. That's how you kind of sketch it up there. 5-2 at the 8:15 mark, Kyle.
Yeah, this is that's a beautiful spot. It seems like the goalie is having a little bit of an issue to her right side. She's let in a couple goals here, but they easily fix right there. You know, if they're going to go that way, then you got to go closer to the post and not allow things to go past. But easier said than done. We're up here in the press box, and
totally.
She's down there getting a hard ball flying at her. I
will say, as a former lacrosse goalie, I'm always a lacrosse goalie. Opposite, stick side, off stick low is what we call it. Off stick low. It's tough. She's in a crazy crouch.
And another goal here, and this time it's number 4 for the Pioneers, getting herself on the board.
Yeah, that's Olivia Wheeler. We were looking for that. 8:01, 6-2, man. Blink your eye here, and the Pios are going to get in the cage.
Pretty impressive here to start for the Pioneers, who, again, I saw on Saturday, as that was a tough early game up there at New England College, facing the John Stark Generals.
And you went up to Henniker for that.
Went up to Henniker to check them out, make sure that they are good to go. As they've had obviously a tough season so far, Rich, with one of their teammates unfortunately succumbing to a car crash a few weeks ago.
Yeah, I missed that. Sorry.
Yeah, Lauren Souza, bless your heart, and they're playing for pride here for the rest of the season with her on. And I got to give credit to the new jerseys here for the Pioneers. They just got them this week, and they look stylish. They're obviously bringing a new way of playing here. Nice and clean. That's a pretty good lift check right there in traffic, as Olivia Wheeler was looking to dive toward the near post. 7:44. It goes back. It goes back to the Kingsmen. Pretty good ride right there. Too much contact from Alyssa Reddy. Yeah, that's kind of weird. Usually they have to go behind the player there, and she did not. She was only to the side. So Kingsman still trying to get things through. And well, you can't get right in that shooting space or throwing space. It's dangerous. Unlike men's lacrosse and boys lacrosse, I've called a lot of college and women's college, but no helmets. It's a safety thing, and there's nothing wrong with that. Here comes Carlisle with some good pace. Passes back against the grain, catches it inside that 8-meter arc right there. And couldn't see the call, but it's center hash. That's the 8-meter arc right there. And if she's got a good first step, you look out. It's hard to defend. Waiting for the whistle here. And those hash marks are 5 yards apart. Referee really controlling everything here in this
That's Emmy
contest.
LeBeau. That's a good take right there. And you see the defender coming in from the right side, can't catch the number. It looks like Addie Moynihan, but she just wheeled away, kind of drifted away from pressure at the last second. Nothing inside as far as pressure goes, Kyle. Easy dunk right there, 6-3.
Yeah, her second goal of the game as well, so watch out for Kingsman's number 5. She is certainly their top player first so far in this contest, with able to get a couple goals.
Yeah, LeBeau, she very quick, very quick. I mean, if you get her with paired up with Lily Carlisle, you got probably a good 1-2 punch, nice dynamic right there. But you got to get the ball, and if you're wearing white, you've had the ball a lot this quarter.
Almost halfway through this opening quarter, and
draw control, Addie Moynihan, just stout right there. She's tall and physical. That's a good knockdown. Oh, gonna hang on to the rock. That's what I was talking about.
Loose ball, and finally Pioneers.
And you probably saw number 9, Layla Fortin, looking up at the heavens for a second, going, "Why'd that go out of my stick?"
You've never had that feeling, Rich.
I had a goalie stick, so it never came out. Oh! Nice
little
job.
Backhand right there. And number 4 is starting
Wheeler
to get
again.
herself going here with trying to tie Addie for leading goal scorer.
Almost a mirror image of the last goal we saw in the free possession shot down there, where you got pressure from the right and a little drift away from that pressure, put it in the opposite opposite hand, and then no pressure, no slide from the inside, and then nothing but net behind you. Wow.
Well, Rich, we'll let you catch your breath here as
Thank
we
you.
got a timeout on the field, and
Breath
we'll
is
be
important.
back here for the first period here with the Pioneers leading the Kingsmen 7-3.
All right, welcome back to Trinity, the campus of beautiful, first time ever in Derryfield Park here, Kyle. And real pretty, great turf. And back to the draw control we go with the Pios up 7-3, 5:54 on the clock. And Addie Moynihan gets it done at the draw circle one more time.
It's really such an impressive thing to get those tough angles actually stopped. And now trying to get this. Oh, look at that. She's able to put it in. Loose ball, and Addie's able to pick that up and put another one in the bucket? What do we call it? The net? We'll just go with the net.
Yeah, back of the net. You want to call it the twine, 6x6, the cage, the iron. I was a goaltender forever at Georgetown and Fairfield, and then old geezer ball for years. I coached a bunch of goalies. It's the cage, man.
Okay, well, either way.
You can call it the goal.
Dunking it in the cage.
Yeah. I feel like it was Lily Fernando on the ricochet. I'm not sure.
It was happening so fast.
Yeah.
You know,
my LASIK surgery is still holding up pretty well. Could you catch that? Yeah. Oh, the film crew here for Trinity caught that, and I got one right, Kyle.
There we go.
All right, that makes up for the traffic problems I had.
Well, Kingsman will get the ball off.
Yeah, you had a violation there, so Lily Carlisle picks it up, and she's your point guard in basketball. Why not on lacrosse field?
I was able to see the Kingsmen win the past, I think, 2022 and 2023.
Oh, that's a good take. Real good job right there by Emmy LeBeau. We were just saying, Kyle, that Emmy LeBeau and Lily Carlisle probably make a good 1-2 punch with all that athleticism and speed. It's 8-4 at the 5:15 mark here at Derryfield Park.
Certainly have had a tough season overall, as they are looking for their first win here today, and they are not going down without a fight at least. Yeah, they might be down 4, but when they can win faceoffs, they know what to do with the ball as well.
Well, enough of them have been around the basketball squad, have a good coach from, who knows both sports, and you're going to have a fighting shot. You just got to keep chugging. Keep the game plan going, press out a bit, maybe cause a turnover here and there, and that's, got to get possession. That's 9/10 of the game. And again, Addie Moynihan is just flexing, and then she's got speed to get out of town. Nobody can defend her today. Nope. There it goes. Goes face dodge, puts it in her left. Bye-bye.
And what can you do there, Rich? I mean, the rules are you're not allowed to hit. You really can only get in the way. And when she's able to kind of do these juke moves, the defenders are really just almost on skates.
Well, you got to move your feet, for one thing. You have to move your feet. Yeah, you can't get in shooting space. But you also neither can your shooter shoot aggressively, or in an uncontrolled manner when somebody's marking up properly. And then if you're the goalie, what I would do as a goalie myself, I would take 2 steps off the back line. Her heels are back line. That's a technique, but you got to cut down the angle on a good athlete and shooter right there. But it's 9-4 at 5:02 in the first. And again, the draw control is all. If you got somebody that good at draw control, ride. There you go, wide open in the middle. Good defense right there. Catches a turf monster, but headed.
Violation called there, Rich. So.
Yeah. So what you have is inside the critical scoring area, you got an 8-meter arc where they're set up for this free possession. I nickname it the free po. And then you get a 12-meter fan outside. You get a violation inside, you're going to get a free possession of some sort. And then back of the net, driving right at the goalie, looking opposite. Good job.
Yeah, I mean, she could see the angle. That was a good spot for her to be able to just go up her shoulder. And now look at this, a 6-goal lead with 4:28 remaining in this opening period.
Those are thankless moments as a goaltender. I feel for you, kiddo. 4:28 and you're down 6 in the first. That's very rough. But she's got to get some defensive help. They got to move their feet better. They may even want to kind of get inside and start forcing the outside. At least get force them into like 5 or 6 passes where you can get into defensive rhythm, start talking with each other. It's so tough to get that train, untracked. But if you talk it out, you got a good coach. You got to do it.
Well, it seems like Addie is just controlling the draws, and that is huge. If that they just keep getting possession and then making moves like this, trying to cut around.
Somehow you got to stop this north-south. Yeah, it's a good save. Finally, I got to tell you, if I'm the goalie or goalie coach, I would adjust her pocket depth there.
And taken away now. Look at this.
And a whiff.
And that will turn into a turnover here.
And she's got to get more activity. The goalie needs to see more activity from her clearing teammates right there.
Nice cut back. Fortunately, the ball does not connect on the pass.
That's a good look inside, finding Wheeler.
Passes aren't connecting, and you can only imagine, Rich, it is going to be tough down here. We're dealing with the sun up here.
Mm-hmm.
Never mind looking into it, trying to find a ball that's going, 20 miles per hour at you.
I wouldn't want to be the Concord Christian goalie, or somebody in the third quarter is going to get a blinding. Third and fourth is going to be sun directly in the eyes. That's tough. All right, here comes Carlisle. See how she swarmed? They know who to cover. Oh, that's a good feed, and you know who. 1-2 punch. Emmy LeBeau gets another one. I think that's 3 since I got here. 3:03 on the clock, 10-5 on the scoreboard. Signs of life, but you got to get the rock at the draw circle. That's what's killing everybody on Concord Carlisle right now.
And it all started after a missed shot here from the Pioneers that went the length of the way with some good passing by the Kingsmen, and now cutting the deficit in half. Still 3:03, like you said, to go.
At this point, with somebody so dominant like Moynihan, you got to just create a 50-50 ball. Get it up in the air or down, and then obviously down to the ground, and then get your ground ball crew. And here we go. But look how quick she is. Look at that snap, like a Hoover vacuum cleaner.
Pass with a player defended.
All right, they pass them off. Looks like they got to flex into a little bit of a backer zone. Oh, boy. And the cutting Moynihan. They've got to – once you pass off your mark, you've got to find somebody new. That's called reco or recovery in lacrosse.
Well, Pioneers
and
looking to set something up here.
You've got to stay on the ball side of your mark. And by mark, I mean the player you're covering.
Nice
that's
move.
A nice hitch. That is a beautiful hitch right there by Alyssa Eddy. Wow. Head fake, jab step, gone. 11-5, 227.
Put that on the Manchester Public Television's top 10 list for the week. That was a great move, and putting the lead back up to 6 with 2:27 to go. And watch out now. We double digits here in the first quarter.
Yeah. Well, one thing, if you look across the field, Kyle, at the Concord Christian bench, only 2 players. Only 2 players as far as depth goes. That's really tough. You've got your 11 players on the field are going to have to measure what they've got in the tank, and that is so tough. when you can't get subs.
I mean, there was a situation on Monday where the Trinity softball ended up winning versus Somersworth with only 8 players, Rich.
I've seen that happen.
But unfortunately, due to NHIAA rules, you need to have 9, and Somersworth will actually get the victory instead of Trinity, who had actually won the game. So
no moral victory, but there is a little bit maybe.
Yeah, you just got to enjoy what you can and know that you played well with 8 and got that victory.
She's just too strong at the draw circle. And then the field general sense. Look at that. Fine. Way to go. Finds Wheeler. Wheeler's going to go down the far slot this time. Change up her direction. Then she tucks, and puts it in the back of the net. 2-0-1. That'll add 1. It's 12-5, Kyle.
Yeah, it just, again, the face-offs and then finding the open teammate who can make the plays and get the goals. I mean, it's easy to go 45 yards in a matter of just a few seconds.
Yeah.
When you have, you find a teammate and go with it. So the Kingsmen certainly have to stay on their defender. They got to defend a little better off these draws.
And it's foot movement. It's foot movement, and it's tethered to what I just said. You don't have a whole lot of substitutions. And a hot day on that turf. The turf is going to be about 100 degrees. I've been there many times, and it actually, you can feel it suck the life out of you.
Oh, we're going to try to stay.
There you go.
And ball pops
Yeah,
out.
and then right into the head area, or checking into the sphere. And that's a rule. You see the ref kind of had a hand motion back and forth in front of her face, cupping it, and that means up in the sphere. You don't want to check up near a player's head.
Nice catch there. Now quickly on the offensive side of the field, Rich.
And Wheeler's going to town. Roll back. Here we go. She took some decent defense right there from Fortin, had rolled right around her, and once she got to the hip side, you saw Fortin's, or at least I saw it, Fortin's feet almost started to cross over, and it's game over at that point because she's off her center of gravity and cannot defend left side.
Yeah, that was a big spin move right there. I mean, that would work in basketball just as well, with able to stop your movement and go the opposite direction.
But credit athleticism right there. I know where I'm taking my defender. I'm going to get her off of her mark or her center of gravity, and then I'm claiming the backside back. Created a ton of real estate right there, and then good shot, good finish.
Well, that's tough to do with this market here, Rich, these days. Real estate is tough in this state, but she was able to find some here.
Well, unlike most of the real estate, there was plenty of vacancy on the right side of the
there we go.
Or the right slot right there. I had to get that in, Kyle. Oh my goodness, seeing eye ball, but really, what we hear a lot of in lacrosse is change planes, high to low, low to high, mid to left, what have you.
And she had 2 defenders on her, so
yeah,
2-2 doing a 1-2 move and able to get the goal, and now a 9-goal lead here with still a $1.07 to go in this first period.
And I think the rule, running clock rule, is 10 goals in high school.
My only question is it second half, or is it still happening in the first half?
I think they've gotten rid of the second half. I called the BG game where they hosted Moses Brown last week. Moses Brown went up 11-zip, and we went to running clock in the second quarter. And they ended up calling the game off because of thunder, lightning, and monsoons.
Oh, my goodness.
And they called it as a game in the books, 11-0. When was the last time you saw any BG team not score?
I'm speechless right now thinking about
Haley's
that.
Comet.
I know that the Massachusetts teams are doing a number on New Hampshire lacrosse this season.
BG boys paid them back. They crushed Zavarian. Wow, what a take by Moynihan. That makes it 15 here. Unless I miss my guess, we'll get our running time.
Well, 43.8.
There we go.
You are correct.
Hey!
It is still going here. So.
I'm making up for my bad directions today.
Well,
all comes back to me. Tom King and I from the Nashua Telegraph and everything else, we're talking about the BG playing the out-of-state teams, and I think after the BC High loss, the boys went down to Zavarian, and they absolutely crushed them. It was 16-8, but they were up 15-3 in the fourth.
My goodness. Well,
but then they lost to Darien yesterday down in Connecticut. Darien, one of the top 10 public teams in the country. Wow, what a period if you're wearing white. Those slick new unis, 15-5, Kyle. What'd you think of that quarter?
Yeah, well, let's take a quick break here and get things all squared away after this opening 12 minutes and see what happens here in the second period. Rich McDonough and Kylie Heath from Manchester Public Television back with the second period after this.
And thanks for coming back to Derryfield Park as we here at Manchester Public Television present NHIAA Sports, and today, girls D3 lacrosse. I'm Rich McDonough. Kyle Heavey is doing everything else. He is filming, he's producing, and he's doing color and play-by-play. It's one quarter down, and we're going to be in running time. It's 15-5 for the host Pioneers as they're looking to add 4 points and maybe a little bit of quality rating. Hopefully in what would be a majestic hack of your way into the playoffs. Anything's possible, Kyle.
Yeah, and they're switching sides here for the second quarter, so we'll see how the teams do with the sun being differently. Yeah. Obviously, Trinity scored 12 seconds into the game, and now here we are, 40 seconds in, and they have not scored as they're kind of being patient with their shot selection at this point.
And you said it, Riley Ring, the goalie, is looking right into that sun. She's in an exceptionally low crouch. I got to tell you, I would coach her out of it. But, goalies all have different styles. All right, that's a pretty good ground ball away from traffic right there, but nice retreat ride. Getting back, and then a good find. Always want to find Lily Carlisle.
And a great move right there to get the defenders to be on skates and having them skate by so she could find the open teammate. And now look at this, something happening here.
But who's in front is Moynihan, and the athletic Moynihan shows that she's got chops on both ends of the field. And look at that outlet pass. Holy cow. And a good handle right there by Wheeler.
Slowing things down.
And she's got her sister below GLE. That's goal line extended, which is where the ball is now. It's kind of the imaginary line going from sideline to sideline. Whoa, that's a good feed. And then a good save. Holy cow. Rings it off her, it looked like her chest protector glove on the left side. Way to stand tall, Ringy.
Trinity was able to get that deflection and still keep possession.
And there we get, drawn contact that is inside. Well, it only remains to be seen. Was she inside the 8-meter arc right there? And they say she was. So here we go. We got a free possession, 2 hashes to the right of center. 9:52 down, up 10, and looking to make it 11.
And these are such huge opportunities for the offense to get another one. And it's stopped there, Rich. Oh, she gets her own rebound.
Well, and I was saying it earlier, if I'm the goalie coach, I'm doing a 3-ball depth for that pocket because it trampolined right off, right back, easy goal. Well, good initial stop, but you got to have the ability to control the ball. All right, 9:22 at 16-5, and again, we're in running time, 10 goals in girls lacrosse. I think they got rid of the second half rule like 2 seasons ago or so.
Yeah, I mean, I saw it on Monday night as well with the Manchester Central West girls being down quite a bit, and they was running time in that game.
Yeah.
And now we got it here again on our Friday.
It makes sense. I mean, if it's so dominant, nobody learns anything, neither side of the ball. That's a great look at that. Just the field awareness out of Moynihan. That's impressive.
My 7th game this week here, Rich, on Manchester Public Television.
Oh, boy. I feel like me. I did 16 college and high school games in 20 days just recently, and driving all over New England. It was crazy. Oh, good feed and tight, and a nice handle, and a great knockdown. And she caught it.
And now Addie had a move and
shooting space.
Now she'll be out a little bit further here, Rich. But straight on.
No, she's dead center, and with her athleticism and speed, she's going to have a yard on everybody else when the whistle blows. Bang, zoom. Yep.
And you were correct. Hey. She gets that, and
she's too good an athlete.
We might be looking at our player of the game at this point with the way that she's been scoring here. It certainly has been special to see as she...
I mean, I've read it. I've read about it, her, and first time I've seen her live, and I'm with you. And we are at 7:45 in the 12-minute second quarter. It's 12 minutes It's 15 at the college level.
And obviously a big game going on tomorrow for St. Anselm boys. They
yeah.
are trying to get to the D2 National Championship that will be played at Gillette Stadium.
Yeah.
Tomorrow they play at Delphi. So
I called my first NCAA game last week.
Well,
a D3 game, but I coached 2 kids on the St. Anselm team. I'm very happy for them.
Well, you're still doing a great job here with D3
Oh, focus, I'm
NHIAA
sorry.
game.
Oh, right into her bucket. Didn't change planes on that one. Just what I was going for. But, you know, goalie to goalie, you got to save. Good job. All right, from behind, they got to call that push. Absolutely. Too much contact. And then Morgan is off to the races here. Good pass. You want to get it to Carlisle. Nothing's going to phase Carlisle, even a double team.
Oh, she still cuts back the opposite direction, looking for a teammate to pass the ball to, but gonna keep on the ball for now.
And there you see a talented athlete runs away from Moynihan. Oh, nice backhander. Woo! 6:36, make it 17-6.
Sometimes patience is a virtue, and right there you just saw that she was waiting for her defenders to try to shy away and was able to put the 6th goal up for the Kingsmen. So,
hey, maybe she's been watching some box lacrosse or some Canadian ball. I mean, they kind of pioneered some of this backhand hijinks that we see today. I don't mean hijinks disparagingly at all. It's phenomenal. Like every kid's got backhanders through the legs, behind the back shots and passes and feeds, and it's moving as fast as we used to pass it when I was playing at Fairfield and Georgetown. It's really impressive how much skill these kids have.
Really shows that the sport has grown so much in a matter of 20 years, Rich.
It's also imagination. They're watching basketball. And they're just bringing in other realms of other sports. I love seeing it grow like this.
Great pass right there, to getting it down into the offensive side, and now going to slow things up. See if she makes a move. No, she's got to get rid of it.
I really think that Concord Christian's got to run some sort of backer zone. They're just getting beat off the first move, and there you go. Just what I was saying. And Moynihan's too good. You need a backer zone to be the next person. And what I mean would be somebody close enough to the ball where you don't get 3-second rule call, and then somebody's there as the next person, next defender. So if you get beat, you know you've got help.
And I love that she's coaching her teammate right there, showing that she can still do something else to try to get herself in an open spot to possibly get a goal as well. So
right.
Great to see that sort of leadership here from the Pioneers.
I love it.
But boy, scores a goal, has to go back and do the face-offs. I mean, she's got to need a good halftime Gatorade or something like that at this point.
Without a doubt. But you got to get these 50-50. You got to create a 50-50 ball somehow, and that's what I mean. It goes down to the – but then you got to win it.
Yeah, I thought the Kingsmen were going to get that. Instead, Pios.
Ooh, right in the – that's why we wear goggles, folks. That is why we wear goggles. And that's why some women and girls have the little half helmet there. It's a physical sport, notwithstanding the rules that penalize over physicality, but it's still physical sport. And let me tell you, as a goalie, that ball hoits.
Well,
it hoits.
1 minute power play here. Could you still call them power plays?
Never
like
call them power plays. Upper levels of ESPN are starting to call them power plays because that's their graphic. It's you got a penalty.
Man up.
I couldn't see what color. It's player up.
Player up, okay. And now a violation here.
I didn't see what color the card was. It was green card, so it was 1 minute. And it's 2 minutes. There we go. They got a penalty timer at Derryfield Park. I'm impressed.
Well, they certainly are.
They didn't have penalty timers at some of the colleges I was calling.
This field is only a few years old, as they did a great job of
beautiful
putting this in during COVID.
That's a good catch. And then nice reaction. Beautiful step to the ball. That's what you got to do as a goalie. You got to step to the ball, cut down the angle, but nice technical goaltending right there. She kept her hip square and didn't get phased. That's good defense.
Still gets it.
And then your goalie traps it. Now, what you have to do is take a breath. Don't go clear up the middle. That's what happens. You got to get people. You got to wait. You got 10 seconds. You got 10 seconds to let your clearing players, your teammates, flare out, get into space. You don't want to go right out of the get-go, especially against a team that's athletic and then has somebody wearing number 24 in white. That
was 4 this time, Rich.
No, I know, but she
okay.
helped cause the turnover. But just you got to take a breath. It's just clearing the ball. There's no need to hyperventilate. Let things develop. And then if nobody gets you, walk it out of the goal yourself. Then you create a 2-on-1. But that takes a lot of time and coaching.
And I feel like any goalie, doesn't matter if it's female lacrosse, hockey, it takes a different breed in some ways to want to stand there and get pelted.
I was born with a screw loose.
Well, we're glad to have you here up here at the press box.
When I was a sophomore in high school, my coach, watched me play midi my freshman year on varsity and get, the snot beat out of me. And he's like, "You really want to get the snot beat out of you? You're my goalie." And then 2 years later, I'm getting recruited by G-Town and Princeton and Virginia and Hopkins.
Turnover here for
oh, that's good defense right there. Nice check. Really good job right there.
Kingsmen just trying to get out of their zone at this point, and now has a lane to get through the other way.
It's a good feed. Now go back. Change grains. Good. All right, well, we got a talented athlete here. We call this a punt return clear. And unless that one grows legs, good catch and good wheel, good recognition by LeBeau. Up, she gets inside the arc. Nice turn. She's got to put that in her left, even if it's moving slowly.
Turnover there, though. Now the Pios.
Oh, walking the dog is Moynihan. That's what I mean by holding it out like a dog leash, your stick. So you're putting it out in front of you, and nobody can check you from behind. Moynihan has got game.
Unfortunately, her pass did not connect, and now it's going to be
right when
the Kingsmen with a minute to go. Got to go the length of the field.
Right when I was giving her praise. Yeah, there's a long way to go. It's 110 yards.
Ball deflected.
Oh, nice change of release point on the mid-hip and going high. She must have been watching Charlotte North right now.
Well, 35 seconds to go. All the lacrosse balls have gone far away from the end line, so
they got to get a ball girl out there.
They really, well, they're again.
Oh, that one was just rolling out of the back of the pocket when she was trying to release it. Oh, that's just bad luck right there for Andrews. Then you got to get a bunt end check right there. Got a little shooting space. And we got a penalty right there. That's a yellow card, so that'll be another 2. And unless they score here, it'll carry over. And if they have possession, I believe, no, that's men's.
Well, we'll see if the Kingsmen can get some energy to go into the second half with this opportunity here. Waiting to see.
Yeah, they're
getting everyone squared away.
So she hadn't quite gotten into that. Yeah. Okay, here we go.
Time running down.
Nothing. It's just going to trickle away. Just like the half, Kyle.
Well, it's been a fun one here as the Pioneers with a good-sized lead, and they'll start the second half.
Player down.
With a advantage. So we'll take a break here from the Derryfield Park. Rich McDonough and Kyle Heave from Manchester Public Television with your D3 Lacrosse on this fantastic Friday. More after this.
And welcome back, everybody. We're here at the home of the Pioneers. And where is that? That is Derryfield Park in Manchester, New Hampshire. Manchester Public Television is proud to present NHIAA sports of all kind. Today, the Pioneers are hosting Concord Christian in a D3 lacrosse contest here. It's Rich McDonough and Kyle Heavey bringing you the action. There was a lot of action, but it was lopsidedly in favor of the Pioneers. They hold a 19-6 lead after 1, and lots of scoring, and we saw lots of athletic play, particularly Kyle. Yes, sure, great shooting, but at the draw circle, it was domination.
And that's what's big for the Kingsmen here, to get this opening face-off and try to get back into this game and see what they can do. Nice passing here.
And there's a good move by LeBeau. She dishes it off to Carlisle, who we've been saying is a terrific athlete. She draws contact inside the arc, and she'll go for a free possession is what I like to nickname it.
At the same time, the Kingsmen are up a man, so this
they're
is
still
a huge
player up. So the player up for another $110, and anyway, so you'll have fewer defenders down low. You get the pinch from topside, and she. Oh, that's a good save. Really good save.
Gonna stay with the Pioneers here.
Ball goes down, too tall for the tall Moynihan, but good backing right there. Good pickup by Wheeler. Off to the races we go. Wide open on the right side is Eddie.
Just got to slow things down, let the time click away, try to get a teammate back.
Yeah, you just want to eat clock when you're a player down.
They're going to pass it around a little bit.
Waiting for teammate to get back on the field, off the bench. Waiting right like the box in hockey, and sadly my Capitals went down last night.
Yeah, condolences to that, as obviously Ovechkin had such a good story. Thought it was going to be a run to the cup, and unfortunately the Hurricanes.
I think they were a little caught up down the stretch and kind of lost a little momentum because they had a ton of it up until the last, say, 3 weeks of the season. You see Ov playing another year?
I do. Absolutely. So
I see everybody in the booth up here shaking heads. So I think we're in accord.
Oh, back to full strength here for
Here
both
we go.
teams.
Here comes Moynihan. D'd up nicely, but there's nothing doing. You got to get some help. You just got to get some defensive help. She's too tough and too quick.
I'm curious if she has some great dance moves. As she can shimmy left, she can shimmy right. She's doing everything right with a 14-goal lead now. As, again, a game that she's going to enjoy watching for life with how many goals that she has. And, again, it's great to see that for this Pioneer squad, after a tough start to the season, they've been able to get some wins this week. And with this one looking to go in their way, can we talk playoffs, Rich? Or is that a possibility?
It's a long shot, but you've got to steal a game. You have to steal one game and then take care of what you can take. And you have to get in the manageable games. You've got to get good quality wins because that goes into what I call NHIAA NASA math. I coached Hollis Brookline for years, and it's math soup on Monday morning. So you got to wait. But you get first order of business is take care of business. Oh, that's a great change of planes right there.
Putting another one in, and some new blood here on the scoreboard here for the Pioneers, who started to make it look like a football score.
It kind of is.
The Pioneers have played pretty well here for the boys football team every fall, and now we're seeing the girls doing well here.
And I gotta say, having coached for on the order of 30 years, you got to stack up all the club work you do because they sometimes have, your coach in fall and spring. But on the order that you just you want to get your younger players, less experienced players, some runs with some of your more experienced players, and that way you build depth and you get better and better as players graduate. But then you've gotten a half to play every so often with your top gun, and that player gets better and better. And then when you have turnover, instead of having to rebuild, you just reload, Kyle.
Well, a good win here for the Kingsmen, who looking to make something happen.
All right, here comes Lily Carlisle, marked up right there by Wheeler. Not Wheeler, excuse me, Holden. And taking it right upstairs in the eyebrows. That was LeBeau. And she goes one hash to the right of center, and she's got herself another free possession. Again, she has that really speedy first step. We'll see how the closeout comes. Bracketed in tight right there. There's that first step, Kyle. Boom. And changes planes, 21-7.
And look at that, a sweet little goal here. And Kingsmen are certainly wanting to give everything that they can in this game, as excuse me, they have a lot of games on the road to end the season. The Kingsmen do. Basically, 5 of the next 6 are on the road. Well, we'll see what.
And Aquinas is top seed.
Yeah, exactly. That's why it's certainly an interesting spot to be in for the Kingsmen, who obviously want to score some goals.
All right, there you go. Good lift on the draw, but you got to keep it going. Got to run away, change directions. Defenders love straight lines.
Look at the speed.
There we
right
go.
Here.
There's a good hitch. And getting in the shooting space there. Or I couldn't see whether it's shooting space or interference. Anyway, it doesn't matter. One hash to the right of center. This time it is Carlisle. And again, she's as athletic or more so than LeBeau. Probably doesn't have quite the same speed as LeBeau. But look at that first step, gone.
Able to get another one here, so a little bit of a rally here. And we've seen sports have many rallies, but time is not on their side right now as with the running clock. But it's still just great to see that the Kingsmen are able to win the draws and kind of are able to get calls.
Get some momentum.
Yeah, it's great to see, these teams going through some tough years here, but not it's all about learning and trying your best here, right?
Yep. But as you kind of alluded to, we'll twist a little old adage and say, Father running time marches on. 5 minutes even now, left in the third. There you go.
Oh,
but you got to hang on to the ball. You got to hang on. You got to make sure you cradle it. Give with the ball as it comes down into your cross. Make sure you have it or you don't have it. That's my old phrase. One of my many coaching was, if you don't have it, you don't have it. So make sure you have it. And then go to business. And then that one escapes. That was just a little bit too wide for Brooklyn Gallant. And back over to blue it goes. And then obviously, Kyle, you and I have noted that Emmy LeBeau, who's got the ball at the end line right now, has got some jets.
Yeah, certainly looking to see what she can do to go to the length of the field here. She gets past one defender. Oh, trying to cut back.
All right.
Thankfully gets rid of it and gets to
an
open teammate.
Athlete to athlete right there. Yep, and you got right on the elbow right there.
So 24 will go off.
And that's a yellow card, so that'll be 2 for Moynihan. I think she caught her right on the elbow as she ran by. Sometimes that happens. As athletic and talented as Moynihan is, you've got a player with the speed of Lily Carlisle at full speed, and you realize that you're going to get dusted, and you just lunge. It's a long restart.
Another advantage here for the Kingsmen. See if they can capitalize here, and they've scored the last 2.
So player up in girls lacrosse is 7-on-6 in the field. Obviously, you got a goalie. That's a nice rollback. Oh, shot right onto the cylinder of the goalie. Didn't quite get the move to the back post, but it was a good effort. And now with the ride, Kyle, you can double and get the squeeze at times. This one's going to trickle out of bounds. It came off the cross weird. And you've still got a $120 on the player up situation for the Kingsmen. That's plenty of time with several of their great athletes they have to go to work. So they're in no hurry. There you go. And once you're outside that restraining line, if you're on the D side, you got to stay there. Oh, right to the cage, and then with that last second check.
She drops it in. It will go for a goal. Or will it?
No. They called a penalty before it rolled.
Okay. I saw it roll in.
It was a bang play right there, but this brings us to 45 on the penalty, 2:30 on the clock, and we got a free possession. This is 2 hash marks to the left of center. And then you got that terrific. See how she floats across from post to post, essentially? Bottom of the one island to the bottom of the other island. That leaves nothing but space on the backside. That was a good take by a really high IQ athlete, Kyle.
Yeah, great to see that the Kingsmen, again, climbing out of the basement here. They're doing their best to make this game a little bit closer here, but again, with only 14 minutes left, you're going to have to get a goal a minute at this rate.
I would say that's like one of those old basements from, a castle in Ireland. It's as big as it can be, and the penalty's about to expire, so we'll be even.
Yeah, as you say.
You can't come out until the whistle blows, though, on the draw.
Well, this is going to be interesting to see if a replacement for Addie can win the faceoff.
That's a good catch. You can use both directions. Don't forget, kids. You can go both directions. You don't have to roll back and go north all the time. Just get your open field, get a 2-on-1, and create some space.
Great move here. And
watch the trail check. All right, there's a nice hitch. Go, boom. Wow.
Gets knocked down at the end, but is able to score. And now Concord Christian, 4 straight goals here, Rich.
It's a good run, 4 goals, especially when you're way, way down. You know, that shows a lot of team pride and character. I'm a big fan. And it's 21-10. You know, when you come back to it, you got to get basically a goal a minute, and you can tie it up.
Well, for Trinity, I got to give them some love this week. Obviously, is their 4th game. Scored 22 on Monday's game versus Milford, 23 at Kearsarge, 18 versus Interlakes Moultonborough, and now here at 21 with still another quarter to go.
What was the final at Kearsarge? Do you know?
Kearsarge was 23-20, so 43
wow,
goals
that's
scored.
Ridiculous. All right, back to the draw circle, and you know who comes away with it. Look at that move, so fast.
And she puts it in, so.
Thou shalt stop this run right now.
Yeah, able to put that up, and with that running time, we will get to the end of the 3rd period here, Rich.
Yep.
As it's been certainly a fun one, and we're looking forward to what the 4th will bring here on Manchester Public Television's lacrosse coverage with Rich McDonough and Kyle Heavey. Back with more right after this.
Hey, welcome back. Welcome back to the home of the Pioneers. It's Derryfield Park on a beautiful Friday afternoon here. Rich McDonough, Kyle Heavey from Manchester Public Television, bringing you NHIAA sports of all kinds all year. Right now, we're watching the Trinity Pioneers mostly have their way with visiting Concord Christian, but Concord Christian erupted in that 3rd quarter, Kyle.
Yeah, 4 straight goals certainly gave them some energy, and now it's going to be this 4th and final 4th period, 12 minutes left.
Right.
And to see what can happen here as a turnover for the Pioneers will lead to the Kingsmen getting the ball.
Eruption notwithstanding, it remains 22-10. It was great to see the girls in blue get to double digits after being really, pretty well whipped in the first half. And but they showed that they're athletic. And boy, I got to tell you, with a 2-player bench, they have some serious wind. They are in good condition. And
what's great for the Kingsmen, this is the most goals that they have scored in a game this season here, Rich. So take the energy when you can. You know you've gotten better throughout the year, and now looking for number 11.
Oh, and guess what that did? That was a high hopper, and it ricocheted off the crossbar.
Unfortunate right there.
I'm a goalie. I'm giving her a save. Got to show the brotherhood and sisterhood some love. I mean, it takes a little bit of crazy to put those pads on and get in any cage, no matter what level you're at. That's a good outlet pass. Oh, hang on, look it in. Got to look it in.
And now we got a whistle, and it's going to go to Concord Christian. We'll get the possession. See if they can try to bounce one in again here as the wind has kind of subsided here for a moment. This is kind of nice to.
Yeah. We'll remind everybody that you see the clock. You'll see on whistles, you'll see the clock keep running. Girls lacrosse, no matter what quarter it is, once you get to a 10-goal lead, which Trinity did early in the game, it becomes running time. And that doesn't apply to timeouts, but it does apply to goals. Obviously, it doesn't apply to injuries either.
Nice
That's
move.
a good take. Just misses wide. Maybe ricocheted off the bottom pipe.
And now violation here. And the Kingsmen will get a
free possession coming up.
See what type of burst she can do off the first step. Waiting for that whistle here.
You got a lot of quick athletes on Concord Christian who have been routinely jumping the gun. You got a violation.
I saw that for sure.
Got to have a restart. Abby Gordon just itching to get inside, play a little D, and she'll have her place taken by Kylie Palmeter.
Her brother Aiden on the hockey team.
Did I get the last name pronunciation correct?
You did, and
Ooh,
now a great defense here by Trinity.
Yeah, just enough from squeeze to disrupt the cradling rhythm there. Ball starts rolling out of the cross, down at the turf. All right, roll back against your grain. Look at them just steadily forcing people out. And here comes Moynihan. Nice bounce pass. Holy cow. If she meant it, that was one of the better bounce passes I've ever seen. Oh, nice little face dodge there, and a good save by Ring in the cage. Ringing off her padding.
Now she will get the ball as well.
So what I think they, I don't want to guess, but there is a rule in women's and girls lacrosse for a dangerous shot. It's recklessly throwing it at the goaltender, and I think that was the call. I couldn't see the call from my LASIK isn't that good.
Well, we are high above the field here. Exciting to see. Now another violation here. Trinity.
That's a good look right there, and a good wheel. Now you got keep your spacing is the object here. Stay spaced. Don't crowd your ball carrier. Got to get it in your left no matter what. It's good D.
Now, another opportunity on a free possession here for the Kingsmen. And
so this is Layla Fortin. One hash again. Fortin gets low, gets it on goalie. Whatever you do, shoot for the sides. Shoot away from the goalie is usually a good rule of thumb.
Now
7:15 already with this running clock, Kyle. There goes Carlisle looking for that backhand again.
Worked before, this time did not, and waiting to see who will get possession. It will actually go to Trinity in the corner here.
So the next level, I predict with Coach Carlisle, with her basketball knowledge, is we're going to see a lot of offhand work in the offseason because you got some fast athletes, and if they could use the weak hand, quote unquote, even just to get yourself a little space, that's the next level. And I talked to Coach Carlisle, and she knows this stuff. Just early on, you're building this up. Oh, that's a good handle in traffic off the drop right there. That's Alyssa Eddy, able to see how she got the stick way high very quickly. Put it up in the elevator, get it rooftop, and then bring it down. Good change of planes. Well, 23-10.
And with 6:15 to go in this contest, it's good to see that both teams scoring their highest of the year so far. Trinity obviously would like to get one more to be the official highest, but either way, it's been a pleasure to be with you here today on your Friday to see some high school lacrosse.
I got to believe that Concord Christian's a little jealous about the 5-player substitution that just happened for Trinity. As we were talking about earlier, their bench is only 2 players deep. It's tough, but they're building. And it's a good place to go to school.
They're not taking out their top player, and Addie, who's been killer on the face-offs and killer with the scoring today. She will remain in the contest and looks to make a move here. Ball goes over the net, and the Kingsmen will now get the ball.
But like I was saying, yes, you're Moynihan, creme de la creme here, but you want, your various levels of players with experience levels, youth, to get runs with, your first liners and such, so that you emerge by playoff time, of course, with a little bit of depth. But you're also building a program. That's really important.
Looking to cut back, going towards the middle. Defender staying on her strong, though. It's like sticky tape right there.
You know all about sticky tape. You knew over the winter when we did a basketball game that it was National Scotch Tape Day.
Well,
I was blown away by that. Alex Trebek didn't have better chops. Holy cow, good pull.
Gets knocked down, but is able to put the 11th goal up on the board for the Kingsmen. Great to see that with 4:15 to go now. We've had 34 goals scored here. We're not going to hit the 43 that Trinity had with Kearsarge the other day, but still great to see scoring going on here on this Friday.
If Concord Christian gets at 23-11, if they got another goal, what would be special about that score? 23-12.
23-12. You're going to have to.
Wasn't it a Rush album? I'm dating myself now. Or is that Van Halen?
And looks like we
boy.
do have some substitutions here. Looking at the bench here of the Pioneers, Addie is not in the face-off circle, so we'll see what the last 3.5 minutes will bring here, Rich.
I shouldn't try to out Alex Trebek you. There's no doubt.
It's all right. I don't want to give up all my stuff since we still have another game to go after this. Kingsman gets possession.
Oh, it's
Set
21-12. I'm sorry, Kyle. I had to look that up. All right, I guess I'm really dating myself because it slipped my mind after I heard it 1,000 times when I was young.
Great job keeping possession there for the Kingsmen, is just playing the ball in the field.
Yep.
Now, finding an open teammate. Nice move.
Yeah, LeBeau's a good athlete. Instantly swallowed up by swarming Pioneer defense, though.
Yeah, that takes some energy out of you for sure late in this contest after doing that over and over
There's a good
again.
move. I mean, you're not going to stop Carlisle when she gets that step going.
No, I mean, that's 2 in a row that she's just had right there. Is now your anti-rush album 23-12 is up on the scoreboard here.
Yeah. I'm sorry, Getty Lee.
That's okay. 2:15 to go in this contest, and you can know that these girls have played as best they can here on this Friday. A long week.
Oh yeah.
Both teams playing a lot, and we're getting late into the season here. With Concord Christian will play the likes of St. Thomas Aquinas, like you said, and then Milford and John Stark. While for the Trinity Pioneers, they got Laconia, which is a tough one, Guilford, and Campbell. My goodness, Rich.
That's a heck of a stretch right there.
Before ending it with Pembroke. So
the New Hampshire lacrosse season, unlike where I grew up in Maryland, is compressed. Late start, fast finish.
Violation here.
You know, high school season in Maryland, a lot was done a week or two ago.
Yeah, I've heard
including
that.
the conference championships.
They go into school a lot earlier than here in New Hampshire, so.
And there's no snow anymore.
That's true too. I'm certainly jealous of that.
Oh, big shot.
A lot of cheering here for her.
Sure.
Under a minute to go, and she'll get a free possession here. Just needs to get a ball that's got to be chased around here for one. So
that was a really good windup.
And another one goes almost out of bounds, going to be held onto.
That was a good hang. Uh-oh, big windup across crease. Once you elevate above GLE, and you get that kind of angle with no slide from the backside, it's game over. Not many goalies are stopping that.
25th goal, officially the 24th scoreboard operator messed up here. And that will do it for today's game. The Pioneers able to double up the Kingsmen 24-12. And it's been a pleasure to be with you here for game 1 of our doubleheader today. And congratulations to the Pioneers for getting their victory. And Rich, how about this? Their first of the year at home.
Hey, all right. I just wish the next game were here at their home.
Well,
but we got to go across town.
We got to head over, and for Executive Director Jason Cody, Operations Specialist Joe Lar, Operations Assistant Brendan McCormick, for our main man, Mr. Late, Rich McDonough.
I'm sorry.
We'll be all right. Congratulations again to the Kingsmen. My name is Kylie Heavey. It's been a pleasure to be with you. So long for now, and thank you for watching Manchester Public Television's sports coverage.